Correct comma usage in the modern world. Created and narrated by Mindalay Wari. Correct punctuation doesn't have to be boring. Well, at least it shouldn't bore you to death anyway. Today's topic, top 7 ways to use a comma. Number 7, between items in a list. Take a look at this picture for just a minute. I want you to take the next 15 seconds and see how many different items you can name that are in this photograph. About 5 more seconds. Alright, let's check out our sample sentence. Keep in mind, if you look at this, you can see that there's a comma between every item on the list. Some of the items in this picture include a vintage wallet, a pair of eyeglasses, an Amtrak ticket, an eyeglasses case, an iPod, a Honda symbol, a pack of gum, a flash drive, several hairbands, a tin of Altoids mints, a set of keys, a cellular phone, a Band-Aid, etc. You might notice there are some things on your list that aren't on mine, but that's quite alright. Top 7 ways to use a comma. Number 6. Before and after thought. Take a look at this photograph for just a minute. You can see this is obviously supposed to be a lovely sentiment between a gentleman and his girlfriend. Take a look at this for a second and see if there's any way you can think of to improve on the punctuation in this sentence. I've already made a couple adjustments for you. Okay, let's take a moment and check out the sample sentence. There it is. I wish I were Spider-Man. Oh, and, for my girlfriend to always be happy? It might not be the most interesting sentiment in the world, but it'll certainly do for our purposes. Top 7 ways to use a comma. Number 5, surrounding optional information. Optional information is, of course, that information that is not absolutely required. Interesting bug there. Today's sample sentence. The bug in this photograph, the one with all the stripes on its back, is some type of moth. Now, if by chance there were several other moths or other bugs in this picture, then the information in between the commas, the one with all the stripes on its back, would no longer be optional information and would be absolutely necessary for us to determine which bug we're looking at. Top 7 ways to use a comma! Number 4, before quoted speech. One's destination is never a place, but rather a new way of looking at things. Henry Miller. Just keep in mind when you're writing quoted speech that the period always comes before the ending quotation mark. And just a little bit of factoid knowledge for you. In Australia, they happen to call the quotation marks inverted commas. So you can use that next time you're watching Jeopardy! Top 7 ways to use a comma. Number 3, in a list of adjectives. Certainly interesting. Keep in mind that when you're writing a sentence with descriptors, those items are called adjectives, and between each one should be a comma, just as in this photograph. Sample sentence. The idea behind this sentence was a defective, fresh, freaky, divine, simple, sassy moment of inspiration. Top 7 ways to use a comma. Number 2, right before the conjunction. Conjunction function, that's your function. Conjunction junction, that's your function. Not this, but that, and or. The conjunction holds the sentence together. Be sure to put it right in the sentence, right before the conjunction. Your comma goes right before the conjunction in the sentence. Whoa, today's sample sentence is, I didn't really like that cake, but this pie is rather tasty. Notice the comma is right in there in the sentence, right before the word but. Just a little something to keep in mind. Top 7 ways to use a comma. Number 1! After an introductory word or phrase. Wow, that is an interesting looking bus. Sample sentence? Perfectly funky. That is the only way to describe this bus in New York. True. Aww. How can you not love the golden monkey? Thank you for taking a few minutes to learn about commas with us.